What's up, you guys? I don't know how this is gonna go, but let me tell you something. This is going to be the most honest, fulfilling, liberating a little bit video I've ever done. This is all of the transactions that I did for my vacation, which is Disney. This is going just to show you everything and anything that I spend money on over there, before there, and afterwards, because I just never knew how many little things happened. So if you guys want to know the entire story, then stick around, grab yourself a drink, get yourself, a little bit of snacks and stuff like that, and we're just gonna get into it. Now, I was actually just in my couch right now, and I just said, hey, how about you just record this video? Just do it because, tomorrow you start to work. It is currently 9:03 on Sunday, the 6th. So, I think it's the 6th. Yeah. So, we're just going to get started with it, okay? Just so you guys know, I'm not going to edit this video at all because it's going to be so much information. Should you be looking into going away on vacation like myself, like I just did from Disney, then you might want to pay attention because there are so many hidden costs that you guys have no idea about. Like, I am so glad that I budgeted for this trip. If you guys don't know, and if this is the first time you guys ever watch one of my videos, I ended up going to Disney, and I believe I racked up, or I saved up at about $1,100, I would like to say. Okay, so the majority of that money completely gone. I did, however, have some money left over. Okay, so we're first gonna head into how much money I currently have left over. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and open my cash envelope. I did tell you guys in my previous video that I will let you know in this video how much money I had left over from those $1,100 that I took with me in cash. Now, maybe some of you guys would say, Sons, you're crazy for doing this and taking so much money over there in cash. There was a method to my madness, and believe me when I tell you, it helped me so much. You guys have no idea. Okay, so let's reveal how much money I actually was left over with. Okay, dun dun dun. 131 and 32. So $132 were left over from my Disney envelope, okay? That means I spent a total of $968 in my full week expenses, okay? Now, I do want to tell you guys something. Along with me having that money in cash, I also went ahead and I received money from Inbox Dollars. I also used gift cards from Walmart to make purchases over there for the things that myself and my family needed for the entire week. When I mean myself and my family, it's just me, my mom, and my dad, okay? I'm not talking about the other family that I went with, which is my sister, my brother-in-law, and my niece and my nephew. Like, they're their own family, okay? So I did spend some money from a gift card that I had already had due to Inbox Dollars giving me that money, and I used it up over there completely, okay? So first, let's put this money into where it's going to go. Now, in many of my other videos, I did explain to you guys that any money that I had remaining from my Disney envelope, I will put into travel, okay? Because that will be for my future traveling expenses or any trips that I may want to go ahead and do, which there will be many, okay? So I currently have in travel from my previous cash envelope stuffing. If you guys have not checked that out yet, I'm going to go ahead and leave it down below so you guys can see it should you choose to watch that video first and then come back to this one. So I currently have in travel 100, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 200, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So I have 221 in travel, plus the 132. So 221 plus 132. So I now have in my travel envelope $353, okay? Now, where do I actually want to travel to? Listen, I would travel the world if I could, but I like mostly going to very, very tropical places. I have already visited tropical places like Mexico, Punta Cana, which is in the Dominican Republic. I've also visited Puerto Rico, Miami, Florida. Like, I've gone to many tropical places. I do want to venture out to colder places, but to be quite honest, I just rather lay on a beach with a drink, and that's it. But I don't know where I'll be going to next. Maybe Costa Rica. I don't know. But, that's kind of like a wish. So, all right, now that we know how much money we have in travel, now let's get into the meats and the potatoes of how or where I actually spent my money at. So let me go ahead and close this out because we will not be stuffing anything in here anymore. Okay. And let's go ahead and open this up. Now, I did have the pre-trip expenses, and I also had the after-trip expenses. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom you guys in here. So the pre-trip expenses, okay? As you guys can tell, I actually invested in having a portable charger, which is actually charging currently my cell phone at this time. It's right here. It's Anchor. I actually bought this over at Walmart, okay? It's not that heavy, but it's sturdy. And the reason as to why I decided to purchase a good brand one is because I knew that in Disney, I was not going to be able to connect to any other, material for me to charge my phone. And that is one thing that you need at Disney. You need your phone for literally every single aspect that you are there. If you're without your phone, you're kind of, I don't know a right way to say it, but te jodiste, basically, okay? The thing is that you need your cell phone to purchase your mobile order food. You need it to book your rides. You need it, to see yourself around the map. Yes, you can physically get the map, but, it's easier when you just put it up there and yeah. Also, you reserve the time slots or where you actually get to the rides. Listen, everybody needs a phone and your phone needs to be charged. So the phone that I currently have requires charging like every few hours. I don't know why, it just happens to be like that. So I decided to go ahead and purchase myself one over at Walmart for $33.55, okay? That same day, I decided to go ahead and purchase myself a luggage, a carry-on. Here's the thing, I already had one, which was my mother's, but the one that I purchased had a zipper compartment which actually expanded a little bit more, giving me more room to put more clothes in. One of the things that I did not want to spend money on was to bring a huge luggage with me and having to pay for that. You know what I mean? So I decided to go ahead and get myself a really cute carry-on one that I know that I'll be using it here and there. And that was my own. I just never owned one. I didn't have one. I would just constantly, before this trip, just borrow it from somebody else. I saved myself some money, but I just said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and spend some money on myself. And that actually cost me $37.01, okay? After that purchase, I also went ahead and I took care of my care essentials. Now, this was actually travel size shampoo, conditioner, and all of that. I actually have it right here, right next to myself. That is my soap, the shampoo container, shower, like these little travel sizes things. I also purchased myself hand wipes, hand sanitizer, everything and anything that I needed for me to take care of, whenever I took a shower or things like that. So those 3 purchases that are considered pre-trip expenses came out to being $82.86. And I paid that with my credit card, okay? Now, I mentioned to you guys that when I was over there, okay, I did some shopping for the entire week for my family at Walmart. Okay, so I purchased, bread. I purchased us like a case of water. I purchased Capri Suns, peanut butter, jelly, just so we can make ourselves like quick sandwiches and things like that within the park, along with snacks, just so we wouldn't have to be constantly eating at the park really, really expensive snacks. Although they are very, very tempting, trust me, they're very, very expensive. Yeah, like one snack go from like $9 to like $8. Like it will be around that park, okay? And they weren't even that fulfilling, to be quite honest. Did I sometimes go ahead and I decided to treat myself? Of course, I wasn't going to be at the parks like nitpicking whatever it was, sorry, that I was gonna eat. Like if I wanted to, I purchased it. If I didn't, then I just didn't. But that actually helped us out a lot because my mom will make her sandwiches, my dad as well, and myself too, and we would just eat it at the park. So that's one positive thing, that you can bring food from the outside into the inside. So I spent my entire gift card in that. I actually had two gift cards. One was worth $15. The other one had about 78 something dollars. Both of those two gift cards were completely spent, and basically those 81.49 was for free because I got that from Inbox Dollars. So now let's get into my expenses, which actually happened to be a lot. It happened to be a total of 32 expenses that I made. So the first one, okay, mind you, this is broken down into myself only. There's actually another section in here because here's something that I actually did. We went into this trip, right? However, I knew that I was going to be taking care of, the car expenses type of thing. And just things that I decided, to put on my tab, and then everybody will pay me back. So my first expense, the first day that we got there, we all got McDonald's. I paid for myself, my mom, and my dad, so each of them had kind of like a running tab. So for myself, I spent $8.28. The next one would be actually parking space at the airport. Here's the thing, you guys, being the fact that I put the car under my name, right? I was the one that had to go ahead and get the car. So that was actually outside of the airport, meaning I had to take a shuttle, bring back the car, pick up my family that was waiting for me at the airport, find them. When I tell you guys, I was sweating by the time. It was a mess. That first date was a mess. Our flight was delayed by 2 hours because the cleaning crew needed to do some cleaning within the aircraft, and we literally got to our hotel, I would say, at 11 p.m. Yeah. Mind you, we were supposed to get in our hotel basically by 7. So when I tell you everything got delayed, everything got delayed. I went ahead to the rent car. The first two cars that they gave me, one was way too modern. Then the first one had like the handle, the shifting things, gears at top, which I was completely uncomfortable with. Then the third one that they gave me, they're like, okay, this one's good. Like, it was a lot for me to handle myself, but I made it through. I found my family. We were good. The next day we had some pizza. The next day was kind of like a chill day because we didn't have any plan at all. Here's the thing. Before the trip actually happened, myself and my sister, we decided to move over all of the parks, especially the Disney ones, because there was actually a storm going on that same Friday that we were leaving. So we didn't even know if our flight was going to be delayed or if it was going to be canceled. Now, if you guys know anything about Disney, you have to go the date that you set it up as. Because if there is an option to go ahead and change it, but you have to do it within a certain amount of hours. If not, you lose your tickets. So just picture myself and my sister changing all of the dates for a total of 7 people. Yeah. Not only that, each of those 7 people had 2 tickets. So multiply that. That is 14 14 changes that my sister and myself had to do before the trip even started. So when I tell you we were like in a panic mode type of thing, we were. And, that on its own, okay. Then you guys can go ahead and see here Disney Genie Plus for me and my parents. Now, I gifted this to my parents. Each member of my family needed a Disney Genie Plus. This is where you can actually use the fast lane and you can do things and not have to wait in line. My father doesn't have a cell phone. My mom has a cell phone, but it is literally from the dinosaur age, meaning they basically solely rely on me for me to have the Disney Genie Plus on my phone for them. I had to do so many things. You guys have no idea for them to get the fast pass, They were part of like my family. They were part of like, Disney Genie on its own. It's another world that you actually have to kind of like educate yourself on. So if you guys are looking into going to Florida and getting the Disney Genie Plus, is it worth it? Yes, it is. Each one actually costs about $15 and some change. That's why you guys see that huge tab over here that cost me out of my own pocket $47.94. Okay. So we just did that just for one day, for the first day, which happened to be Magic Kingdom. Okay. Now, the food. When I tell you guys the food, it's crazy. But my sister and myself, we said we are actually going to go ahead and eat at the park, okay? So my total food just for myself, I spent a total of $60.88 for 4 snacks and for restaurants, okay? Snacks, when I mean snacks, I mean like ice cream. It could have been popcorn. It could have been, I can't remember what I had now. I only remember that I had like an ice cream with like the Disney ears type of thing, right? So when I tell you it's expensive for one person, if you got kids and if they see all of this, just, you're better off, just opening your purse. Here you go, giving them some chips or something. But yes, now in Magic Kingdom, we did not have to pay for the parking, which was amazing. When I tell you we were all up at the crack of dawn, my wake up time was actually like 4:30 or 5 a.m. just because that's how long like it takes me to get ready. Not only that, the place where we actually stayed at, which was a hotel, I'm probably gonna go ahead and like link it down below so you guys can see how it looked like. It wasn't like a 5-star hotel. It was like a regular hotel, It wasn't rinky-dink either, but they offered actually free breakfast starting from 7 a.m. all the way to 10 a.m. So we had to be up super early in order to get the breakfast and hit the road, okay? Now, the cool thing about our hotel that we stayed at was super close to those parks. I think it only took us about like 20 minutes, if that. So that's perfectly fine for us. Okay, let me see if I'm actually still recording. Yeah. All right, so the next day we went ahead and we went to Animal Kingdom. In here, we actually did have to pay for parking, whether it was general, preferred, or I don't know, VIP. Point blank is we divided that into 5 people, okay? So each person had to pay $9 out of their pocket. We decided to go ahead with preferred parking just because of the kids, and we didn't want, to make them walk super far. So 9 times 5, that was $45. So that's what we paid. Now in Animal Kingdom, for my food entirely, I paid $35.13, which wasn't so bad. We actually ate in the park and, we did all the rides, and I paid for myself was it for myself? No, yes. I paid for myself the fast pass, and my father paid for himself his fast pass. My mom didn't even go on the Avatar ride, which we actually got the fast pass just for that ride. But we actually did the Navi River, which was amazing. We did so many nice things, and I liked it so much that I actually gifted myself a hoodie. Yeah, from Animal Kingdom that had Minnie. And I have never in my life spent so much money on a hoodie, but it was so worth it. I love it. I wish that I could bring it out so you guys could see it. But, I won't because it has to be washed and stuff like that. but that actually cost me $69.21. Now, it's not a rinky-dink hoodie. It's actually really, really nice. It has like embroidery and everything. So listen, I gifted that to myself and I'm completely fine with that. The next day, we went ahead to Universal, okay? Now, the parking for myself, I had to pay it out of my own pocket, $5.40. I then went ahead and I gifted myself again some Harry Potter products. So I got myself a Felicia's, I don't even know how to call it, but it's kind of like something from the movie that, you know, it brought me happiness. And I also got myself a chocolate frog. I wish that I had it on hand to show you guys, but it's probably tucked away somewhere. I still haven't even unpacked, okay? But I'm just being lazy, to be quite honest. But I got myself those two things and that costed me $25.56. I then went ahead and I said, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and gift my sister and myself butter beer, which happens to be what they actually drink at the movie. And me and my sister decided to go ahead and, you know, get that. Like, she wanted to, she was busy with the kids, so I just made myself all the way around and I just said, you know what, I'm just gonna get it for us both and I'm gonna gift it to her. So we both got our butter beers and that ended up being $17.02. Okay, so yes, it's a lot for two drinks. They're non-alcoholic. They were very, very good and I was happy. All right, I then went ahead and I got my nephew a gun. Yes, a toy gun from a Minion. He loved it. He was shooting up everybody, you know, going like that. And that racked me up to being $18.05. I actually wanted to get my niece something, but nothing was jumping out for her. So I just said, it's all right. I'll go ahead and I'll get you something at SeaWorld because we were hitting that. Skipping one day because we had off right after Universal, and then the next day we were gonna go to SeaWorld, okay? So it was done. I then went ahead and I got my mother a gift, and she wanted this huge towel because she's a Betty Boo fanatic. She loves Betty Boo. She loves everything that has to do with that. And that cost me $28.76. I told her, pick out anything that you want from the store and I'll purchase it. And that's exactly what I did. Now that night, or actually the next day, which we had off, we decided to go to a Peruvian restaurant, which I actually got myself ceviche. Ugh, it was to die for. I loved it. I loved it. And that was actually $25.30 that I spent on myself. Okay. Later that night, we went to Pollo Tropical and I got myself really, really good food. I think I got flan as well. It was really, really good. And that is actually one of the cheapest restaurants that you can ever go to. I completely recommend it. And that cost $9.46 as a whole. Okay. I then went ahead and I believe that I got myself a churro in one of the other parks. I just forgot to, you know, post it all the way up here, but that cost me $6.81. I then went ahead to Ross for the first time ever. It was literally the same as TJ Maxx and the same as Marshall's. I don't know. My mom was making such a huge deal about it. I have that shirt in my luggage right now and it cost me $14.90. I'm actually going to be wearing that shirt over at the Benito concert that I'll be going to next week. Yes, I'm super excited because I didn't know what to wear, so that's the shirt that I'm gonna wear. Then my sister went ahead and she's like, we should have some Italian food. So we went to this really, really nice restaurant, you know, with glasses and everything. No plastic, no nothing. And, you know, the server was very, very nice. We were actually sitting outside with like the palm trees and everything. Very, very bad and bougie. I ended up spending $26.64 in my entire meal. I think I had shrimp with fettuccine and yeah, it was really, really good. I then went ahead and I got myself a McDonald's latte later that day, I believe. Yeah, because we went into Walmart, but I didn't want to buy anything. I just needed, you know, some pick-me-up type of thing. And that cost me $3.50. Then we went to McDonald's and I spent $9.98. I know I was eating so bad, but that's okay because it was kind of like my cheat week, okay? Then we went over to SeaWorld, and the parking was actually $6 just for myself. So you multiply that, you know, by 5. that came out to being $30 for SeaWorld parking. I then went ahead and I got my niece a Barbie as a gift that had like SeaWorld written on her, like a really, really nice Barbie. It cost me $31.94. I got myself some lemonade, which actually cost me an eyeball. Yeah, because like $5.10. I was like, girl, why? Why? You know, but I was thirsty. And the thing is, I actually forgot my bottle of water thing that I usually bring for myself. It's all right. I then got myself some ice cream, which actually cost me a bar. A bar? Was it a bar or cone? Okay, the first ice cream was actually a bar, and it cost me $6.38. I almost had a heart attack, but it's okay. Then a SeaWorld lunch, I actually spent $37.24. We then ate later then at Golden Corral, and that cost me $23.50. The second ice cream that I got over at SeaWorld cost me $5.99. I know. Then we went again to Pollo Tropical the next day, and that was $16.48. That was during, you know, the daytime. Then at nighttime, we went to Memories of Peru, and I got myself some food really, really good over there. Then on the way of me dropping off the car, I actually spent $10 in the shuttle tip, you know, because they take you from point A to point B after you return the car, and that was $10. Then the ride back for the taxi, you know, the taxi that would take us from Newark all the way to our home was $20 per person. However, my mom owed me $12 and I only had to give her back $8. So those are all the expenses that I had, which ended up being a total of, hold up, okay, $829.41, okay? Now, the pre-trip and my expenses ended up being $730.45. What was actually left over in my wallet was $152. However, today, mommy was like, I really want some chicken. I don't feel like cooking. So I decided to go ahead and treat her from that money, which actually cost me $20. So that's why I now only have left over the $132 that I told you guys about, okay? Now, after the trip, okay? So we came back. We dropped off like our luggage. Nobody wanted to cook. Nobody wanted to do anything. So we decided to go ahead and hit Cracker Barrel, okay? And that ended up costing me $17.47. That check sign was because I have already paid for it, so it's all good. So those are a lot of transactions that happened before, during, and after the trip. The fact that I was left over with actually 132 is beyond me, but I'm excited at the fact that I didn't overspend, and that is why I decided to take out the cash, you know, with me physically, because each night as I would, you know, my day would be done either with the parts or anything like that, I decided, you know, to get my iPad and just jot down how much I spent that day, and that's it. It was really, really quick for me to do. And what I would do is I would just pretend this is my wallet, right? I would go ahead and just take out the money and put it on the side. Like, all right, you have this much left over. Like, you know, watch out just so you don't overspend or get trigger happy, as I like to call it. So that is that for the expenses that I had completely over at my vacation. I hope that you guys enjoyed this very, very thought out video. I know it was a lot, but listen, I think that it's very, very useful if you're planning on getting your trip over there or thinking about making a trip wherever it is that you plan on going, because let me tell you, it is a lot of money that you will be spending, but if you budget correctly, you'll be better off. All right, you guys, with that, I'll let you guys go. May you all have a blessed day, blessed evening, and I will see you guys on my next one. Have a good one.